Hello, my loves. So, as soon as I agreed to record this video, quite a bit of energy unfolded. And it started out with this energy and essence of the divine masculine energy feeling very suffocated and limited, also connected with the energy of feeling exhausted and overworked. But what I was shown was sort of they have this energy trajectory that they've been on that seemed like the logical thing to do with what they knew how to do. But it's sort of like honestly coming to an end. It's almost like the end of the railroad tracks is what I'm being shown in this very moment, and the uncertainty of what to do next. But it also feels like it's reaching this precipice point of feeling very suffocated and limited in their options. And what that is revealing is the part of their system and their nervous system that is so incredibly overworked from constantly doing and doing and doing and going and taking action in very specific directions. And it may or may not be the direction that was actually meant for them at that higher level. It's all okay. We talked about this last week, but it's reaching a point where, like I said, it's sort of like coming to an end in that trajectory. And what's happening is they're reaching those states of exhaustion because there's no more energy left in the tank for that specific thing. They may interpret it as something being wrong, but what it actually is that they're ready to expand to their next levels. And what has happened within the bandwidth or area they have been working, they have literally reaped as much information and benefit as they could from those experiences. And now, in order to continue to grow and expand at the level that their soul is calling them, they'll have to sort of unravel, dissolve, and exit out of those old patterns. Now, it's the internal patterns, right? The overworking, the overdoing, the over giving types of energies, and like the what's coming through is sort of that stubbornness of like, I have to do it this way. This is the right way. All of that is sort of reaching a point of stifling their energy. And you may be feeling this also as a feminine equally. And I'm going to be doing a video for the feminines as well, because the feminines that are feeling this in their system, what's happening is that their feminine side is sort of like, I'm moving fully into the new and letting these old patterns go. And so that's where the two are working together internally and externally in the collectives, but more on that part later. So even the masculines going through this part, that part of them that is like, I gotta rest, I have to reset, I have to figure out what's right for me before I go barreling down these next levels. Wow, I can feel that. It's sort of like they've been pulled and pulled and pulled and taking action in a specific direction for quite some time. And there's other people, places, and things sort of still attempting to pull them down that direction. But their soul is like, I really don't think I can continue down this specific path anymore. It's almost like there's no air in the room. That was the energy of the suffocation. Like there's no energetic support for that path to continue. And so if they continue down that path, it's going to literally be out of sheer will and force, which is only going to further exhaust them. And what I'm seeing is sort of like someone having the choice to go down an open field to the pathway home, or the second choice is to barrel their head through a mountain that has no, pathway through it, and sort of like they can do it. Eventually, they'll get out of the other side, but they're going to have a headache and they're not going to feel good and they're going to be exhausted coming out the other end. But on the other levels, whatever their soul needs, their soul needs. So we hold space for that. But my sense is overall that a majority of the masculines, they just don't have the gumption to literally go another round with the rocks in that level. Okay. And what I mean by that is like barreling through the rock and the concrete or taking the open road. Um, that they can see sort of the land and the sunshine ahead. And I feel like within the resting period is where they'll be able to start to decipher. Because my sense is that they can't even see that there's a clear path because everything has been trying to pull their attention to the force. And what I mean by that is like the forcing, the pushing, the action, the will, my will over thy will. And like if they connect with their higher self, if they connect with source and the higher alignment, it's sort of like the rock dissolves and they start to see the clarity forward. So, for any of you, masculine or feminine, who have been called into a state of rest, rejuvenation, relaxation, pulling back, staying to yourself, hermiting for a day, for a couple days, for whatever you're being called to do, honor it. It's part of why I was personally so quiet and a big reset happened with me myself. And when checked in with it today, I did feel guided to come on and do this message for you guys and with you guys. So, um, yeah, it's kind of intense, but it's literally like calming down as I'm saying it out loud. So let me know what you guys have been feeling. Oh, and interestingly, since this energy was coming up so much prior to the holidays and over the past week or two, I did a few meditative sessions. One, the masculine energies actually came through quite intensely, like wanting to land. And then in the second one, it was a completely about relaxing the nervous system to reset. Those are on my expanding memberships here on Patreon or on my web store. So I'll make sure that those are available in the pinned comment for you. Those were especially the second one. The first one was beautiful to sort of open up and support the internal and external masculine energies embodying. But also the second one was very supportive for just allowing that complete relaxation so the reset can occur. Okay, I forgot about that almost. But that has sort of been the energies that are really ramping up over the last few weeks. And these messages that I'm sharing with you are really where it's stemming from. But it's almost like the rest had to occur in order for the realization to happen around, is this actually the right trajectory for me? Or am I going to be constantly butting my head against a wall when there's potentially this open pathway that's much lighter, much more supportive for my system ahead? So with that, I actually I'm going to get a couple shaman dream cards and then I'm going to go into the tarot to see how this may play out in the physical. Oh, okay, beautiful. I was guided to get two and then pick some cards in the middle. So we start out with heart, home, compassion, and we're ending with stars in the skies, limitless possibility. Very beautiful. So I do feel like this is starting out with where the masculines are being called back to the home within their own heart, connecting more deeply with their own internal energies so that they can actually hear their own voice, follow their own heart, find their own truth. Because what I was shown, as long as the masculines or anyone for that matter, continues to follow their head, their world is going to match that. So they're going to be in relationships with people who match that mindset. They're going to be in homes and jobs and places and spaces that match that mindset. But as they drop deeper into listening to their heart space, in the truth of what it is that they actually want, then they will start to manifest and build and co-create in a way that matches that. And that is when the true alignment of what they actually want will come more fully into fruition. So, this rest to reset and actually check in with themselves is exceedingly important. So, if you're seeing these dynamics and you've been wondering, like, where are the masculines? Well, they're in this process of going through discovering what it is they actually want and who they actually are, exactly the same way the feminines needed to do. And it's in the perfect timing because if they weren't holding the space they were holding before, the feminines wouldn't have had a mirror to know where they needed to go. So, again, working in tandem. All right. And you will notice this within your own internal energies if you're a feminine. You can only do so much at one time. You can only work with one part of yourself and heal that and then move to the next step. Okay. Whatever that is for you, there's no judgment around it. But if we could do it all instantaneously and fully embody it in one moment, well, we would all do it. But that's not what we're doing. We're in the process of embodying our essence and learning to live in our full essence. Okay. And the masculines are in this part of the process, which is actually quite a beautiful part of the process. It can feel stressful at first, but it can end up being exceedingly rewarding as you take that space for yourself to actually realize what it is that you want within your heart. All right, what else do we got? Whoa. Okay. So just to confirm this, we have the lovers and the King of Pentacles. So to me, this is reaffirming that the masculines are in a physical world, deep contemplation of truly reevaluating and deciding what it is that they want to continue with or to build and create in their life. I feel like there has been quite a bit of wisdom that has been won within these experiences, but there's also a deeper understanding. There's kind of like this inner knowing that if they continue on their current trajectory, their potential is sort of capped. What I'm seeing and sensing is sort of like if they stay where they are, this is going to be their life for their life until they do something different. And so, whatever it is that they're in, whether it's work or relationship, whatever it is that they're contemplating this about, they have sort of reached their pinnacle of success within that container. And so there is some level of change that is required in order for them to reach their next levels of success. It's going to be different for each and every one. But my sense is with this heart home and this lover's card and this King of Pentacles, there is some serious energy being contemplated around the heart space, around the inner union energies, however that plays out for these people, in the sense that actually really aligning with their true love internally and externally is what's coming through. And it feels like as this is allowed the space to land, as they rest from all the busy, 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 and they actually have the space to let this open up, the pathway does come clear. And that realization that there are limitless possibilities in a new direction is what will ultimately inspire a majority of these masculines to shift gears and move forward in a new direction as the energy that's coming through. And if there's any that in the exact moment do not choose that, well, they'll have another chance down the road when their system is ready to make that decision. Okay. So, in general, this is where a majority of the energies are moving, and it wanted to come through. And I want to pick one final card, actually, from my unicorn deck that wanted to come out yesterday. And it feels sort of connected with clearing the workhorse energies and sort of evolving into that magical being and the true conscious masculine creatorship. And let's see what we got. Oh, two came. Wow, we have strength, This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in the situation. Wow. Okay, that's quite gorgeous. Trust. Leap into the unknown, have faith and move forward, believe you will fly. Wow. That is quite gorgeous and significant with everything that we just spoke about. So I feel like through this process, and it's really pairing with what I was saying about the divine feminine messages coming through, which are connected with that moving forward into the new. So, as the masculines and feminines again continue to work, as work, live, follow their guidance, rest, whatever you want to call it, as they continue to trust themselves in the guidance they're receiving, they will both continue to be led to that highest potential, that alignment with source in their true heart, and where they are meant to be will eventually land in the physical world. And this just feels significantly big. Even like the energy I felt in the build up to doing this video, like I needed to do a few things. I knew I needed to shower and kind of settle myself, but then it was like I had to also like, come on, I couldn't even dry my hair. That's why I'm like, so I'm sort of like in this mid awkward phase. Not that I always dry it, but it's the energy and the essence that I'm feeling around this is sort of that mid process, right? It's not fully ready yet. It's not ripe yet, but it's very, very much in process. And it's enough in process. And what this feels like to me is that it's settled enough. Enough have chosen this timeline in this pathway to move forward onto the new path that I finally received the guidance to come on here and share this message with you. Okay, my loves. So, this ending of our 2024 is feeling quite significant as we prepare to move into 2025. So, as always, honor what is coming for you. And I will see you soon with the Divine Feminine video as well. So, you might want to stay tuned for that. I will drop all my information and those sessions in the pin comment. I would love to hear from you as always. And I hope you've had a beautiful last few days, and I'll see you very soon. Much love. Take care.